All right, we're gonna do. I'm always doing this with my hands when I get on here. It's funny how you'll notice all these things with yourself when you make these videos and start diving into new things in life. I have the Course in Miracles book here with me, but I'm not gonna do. This is gonna be a different kind of video. I really have some powerful things to share. I had such a powerful morning. I really want to share on a few other things. It all ties together. There was one thing that I want to hit on from the lesson yesterday, and this is another reason why I'm going to do this video differently today, because, and I got the pup Daisy behind me here. She's awake. She's chewing on some stuff, some toys behind me. So, we'll see what happens there. And there was yesterday's lesson I didn't get a chance to, I chose. It was a choice for me. I didn't choose. I did a different meditation in the morning. I didn't meditate on it, so I didn't get it in then. And then I didn't read the lesson. I had already highlighted things from previous time, and I didn't go over the lesson before I got on. And I think it was still powerful. It was still great information in there. I feel like there was maybe at least just one key thing that I want to mention in this video. It's just going to be a follow-up to that, and I have a few other really some real good stuff to talk about that I think can really help people level their lives up. And that's what this channel is all about. So in this lesson, and I think what I'm going to start doing with the lessons when I read them is the paragraphs in the lessons are numbered. So I'm going to start saying in paragraph 1 and paragraph 2 and paragraph 3, because I want you to be able to reference the book or know where I'm at. So, and as I go through this course myself, I just want to keep reiterating that I am just going through this material for the first time myself. And it's just been that powerful for me that I want to share it. And there's probably things that there's things that I'm not even picking up on in the course, or, I know there's things that I'm still operating somewhat in my life at an unconscious level or on autopilot, right? So, that's kind of going to tie into other things that I want to talk about in this video. So there was this part, there's paragraph 3, lesson 126. At the bottom there was a sentence, and it says, because his sins have lowered him beneath a true equality with you, he has no claim on your forgiveness. It holds out a gift to him, but hardly to yourself. So the lesson kind of mantra, or the, lesson, I don't even know what you want to call it, the title of the lesson, all that I give is given to myself. So when we're in service to others, we're giving to ourselves. Remember, back in lesson 124, it was, let me remember I'm one with God. So this all ties into what I want to talk about today as well in other areas. See how everything's interconnected and intertwined? This is my belief and what I'm coming to in my life, and what's been working, obviously, in my life. I mean, if you knew where I was before and where I am today, you would see that as well. And hopefully, maybe as this channel goes on, I'll see it in myself, and any viewers and any of that stuff will see it as well. But think about this is how I think about it. And I was actually something brought to my attention, and then I'll say what I also believe. Think about the sun and the rays of the sun, right? We're different. Each one of us is this ray, the individual ray piece, or then a piece of consciousness or awareness. We're just that one point of that, right? That fragment of God. We're all really all one. We really are all creation. We're just God experiencing itself here. Right? I would talk about my thoughts and belief on why we're here, what our purpose is, right? Talking about how this is a learning ground. This is where we'll be challenged. We're leveling up. Our souls, our spirits will level up. And then another key piece of this is maybe there's a different view or perspective as well, and that this is God just experiencing. So we're pieces of God just experience itself here in this life, in this arena, this third 3D dimension. God wants to experience itself here. Creation wants to experience itself here. And that in that, it's our job, our purpose to clear away anything that's in the way of that, right? We'd be disrespecting ourselves, God, creation, the universe, nature, the sun, however you want to look at that. We'd be disrespecting that by not working on that, by not clearing out the stuff that I talk about all the time in these videos. And that'll go run right into another thing that I have a couple things written down in my journal here. And I thought about making a video just based on all the ideas that I wrote down over the days up to this point. Just going over them in a video. Like saying this is what I wanted to do. I want to do a video on that, and just giving the list of things that I was thinking about doing. So staying on topic here with this whole idea of, uncovering the trauma, getting, unsuppressing, releasing the emotional and feelings and all these things that happen to us wherever, whenever in our lives as children. Most likely, most of it was when we were kids, and this ties into how I want to talk about how the ego serves us at that point. It's we needed it to survive as a child, but it's no longer needed as an adult. It needs to be put back in its place. And how we are, that's what I'm finding. I'm coming to this place where I need to release all these things, uncover them, realize, remember who I really am, so that God and creation, all these things and all these terms, however you want to view that, can experience itself as unconditional love. What we are at the root of it all is unconditional love. So that was another thing I wanted to share on. Maybe I'll go back to the lesson from yesterday here. I'm thinking right here, like, it just, basically I think the gist, and I don't know if I hit on this the best I could yesterday, and that's why I'm doing it again, is, basically others, we watch others. You could use the word sin, or you could use the word screw up, or make these choices, right? Good. It isn't about good or bad. It's about what's happening, right? And we think we're above them. We are them. So when you judge another and say, I've had this happen to me in my own life from people close to me, right? I've had them say, well, he got himself into it. He can get himself out of it. Man, are you harming yourself and humanity as a whole when you look at things in that perspective, right? That's my take on it, right? I want to be of service whenever I can to whoever I can. So that's that piece. And that's why I wanted to go on the lesson. The lesson talks about this. While you can judge their sin and yet remain apart from condemnation and at peace. It was talking about this in the lesson in paragraph 2. That's the final sentence. And there's more in here. There's more in this lesson that talks about all of this, how basically when we do this, we're doing it to ourselves. When we don't give, we're unable to receive. When we give, we receive. It's all the same thing. So when we what's the word I'm looking to? Hold back the love and the unconditional love and the service that we could give another, you're condemning yourself. So I don't think that's what we're looking to do. And then, so I have about carrying trauma. Oh, that was another key piece that I wanted to make about that as well. So this may not even be yours. This is massive, right? There's a lot of material out there. There's a lot of people. There's lots of books. There's lots of things written on this. And this trauma and this stuff may not even be yours. It may be your mom's. It may be your dad's. It may be your generation. It might be down the line of ancestral lineage in your family that's being passed down. That's why when in a video I talked so much about be the one. Be the one that breaks these patterns and these thinking. I think I did a short on this. I might even do another short on this. Be the one that breaks that trauma, that emotional suppression, the habits, the thinking, the beliefs. Break out of it. Be the one in your family that does that, because you are doing so much for humanity. You are doing so much for every single human being in existence, which is God itself, creation. You're doing something for every person on the planet. You know, there's this little story my friend shared with me, and it was, there's this, his name's Ed Millett. He has his own YouTube channel. He's just smashing it. You just go check him out. He talks about his father being an alcoholic and how there was one man was of service to his father, and how many people did that then impact? You know, Ed Millett himself, as the son of his father, was heavily impacted by his dad getting sober, helped his dad get sober from alcohol, right? And then his dad had these, when he finally transitioned and passed over, they found all these index cards, all these people his dad was helping and checking in on. That's the ripple effect. That's the ripple effect that of your healing, one human's healing, and the ripple effect of that. So I wanted to talk about that, how that can be not even yours. This stuff can't even be yours. The victim time, playing victim's over with. It's ready to adult up and take full responsibility for yourself. There was a post actually that, I don't know where my phone's at. Maybe I could grab it and even read that. Oh, duh. I'm recording on it. Oh, Lord. Sometimes that happens, right? Hope you get a chuckle out of that like me. So I talked about that and the generational trauma. You know, I kind of talked about the ego. We don't want the ego to be non-existent. It's a necessary thing here. It just needs to be put in its place now that we're an adult. And that comes to another topic of mine where I really, other cultures, and I think we even did this in the past, and I know other cultures do, where there's this rite of passage. There's this ceremony from child to adult, right? Now there's this transition. Now there's no more, like, we need that back. We need some sort of ceremony or celebration, or however you want to word that, rite of passage from child. We have a lot of adult children walking around, confused, angry, sad, depressed, anxious, all these things. And because we need one thing we need is men, right? Men not running out on their families, men not being scared and fear. Like, we have an epidemic of this. And I am somebody that's transitioning out of that, right? And I'm now, you can only see it once you transition out of it. You can't, it's hard to see when you're in it. You sense it, you're like, something's not right, but sometimes you can't get that unconscious stuff or that stuff to come to the surface yet. Well, that's what this channel is all about, and this stuff that I'm talking about. You want that and you like that, then tune in. And then there's this other one. I talked about that. I talked about how I wanted to talk about how God experiences itself. Its creation experiences itself through us. So we have a job to do while we're here. Not to just go out and just 9 to 5 it, not like what we're doing. Wait for a vacation to actually enjoy life, yada yada. You know what I'm talking about, most likely, you know. And kudos to the people that are breaking out of that, realizing it, and have done it already, or are in the process, or even if you're thinking about it, the seed's planted. You know, and the power of presence, right? That I have the little note down here with the whole thing about it, God experiencing itself through you. You know, if we're not present, if we're in a state of depression or anxiety, you don't think God really wants to feel that, right? No. He wants you to level, he, she, it, whatever. Wants you to level up, wants you to experience life just every moment of it, right? I was just talking about this with a friend, how I go outside now and I'm looking at the clouds, I'm looking at the sky, I'm looking at the blades of grass, the bugs, every little thing with like fascination now, right? Like I was on autopilot throughout my life, walking right over these things, not even paying attention. There's miracles all around us all the time. We are the miracle. Everything's the miracle. It's all divine. And then the final thing I want to talk about is something really powerful is brought to my attention today. I have shared several times on the channel how I've been experiencing these pretty intense physical sensations. And a lot of times it's out when I go out and about and such. I'm in social situations. A lot of it, you'll hear a lot of people say they struggle with these social situations, right? That's where alcohol comes in. And alcohol became a serious problem in my life. So what was brought to my attention, what could really be helpful here for people, because it was super helpful for me. And that's how this works, right? We come across things, or we become aware of things, or we have angels in our own lives, and we have things that people make us aware of, or they see in us, or they share something. And that's how this all works. That's how we level up. That's how we're going to do this thing. So these physical symptoms become stronger when the miracle, remember this. These physical symptoms can become stronger when you're closer to the miracle. So how could this play out in your life? Oh my gosh, right? Like when the physical symptoms become strong, you almost want to back away and back down and say, oh, I better go to the doctor. I better get these tests run. And what happens a lot of the time, right? They tell you, oh, everything looks fine. Everything looks good. I'm not saying don't get these tests. If you want to get these tests and go see the doctor, what I'm telling you from my perspective is this is very much emotional. I think I just covered it. Emotionally based, mind based. Most of this, what we're doing, this is a mind game that we're in here. That's why when I talk about what the system does, is they mind control. We've never been taught how this all really works. I can promise you that. You got to do some digging for that. So the closer you are, if you're experiencing some serious physical symptoms, then you go out there to the doctor and all that and suppress them. No, you're supposed to be experiencing this. You're supposed to be letting it really, that's the release. That's the healing. Because I'm experiencing some pretty strong physical stuff. And what I realized today, it's because I'm so close. I'm so close to the awakening, living godlike. Living in that unconditional love, or as close to perfection as I can get as a human being. So when those physical symptoms get strong, maybe you have a little talk. Maybe you have a little talk with God. Maybe you have a little talk with your higher self. Maybe you have a little talk with the ego. And you say, I once needed you. I needed you to keep me safe. Now I don't. I'm an adult. I don't need this anymore. It's like holding on. It's like I envisioned this when I was being told this, where I was having a conversation about it. I envisioned this like darkness holding on to me, holding on to my shoestrings, because I'm almost there. There's a miracle right around the corner. Miracles are always happening, but like massive level ups, right? So just when you are about to give, that's why there's that saying, when you're just, don't give up before the miracle happens. If these strong anxieties or panic attacks, or, even stuff with your organs, like, pains here, pains in the body, it's a guidance system. It's your body communicating with you. There's things that need to be thought about differently, lifestyle things to check into, not a pill to go get, not a surgery to go get. That's my perspective and my belief. So I wanted to bring that to the channel. I wanted to bring all of these things and these ideas, and I wanted to kind of go over and talk more about the lesson from yesterday. I didn't think I gave it everything that it needed. I'm going to actually today, I'm devoting today to it. I'm going to probably here shortly do a midday. I've been trying to do morning, midday, and evening, and trust, I don't always choose it. Still, I choose differently. I let the distractions of the world, or I let these little pleasures, or these meaningless pleasures of scrolling on my phone or whatever that may be take over sometimes, and it's all good. It's all perfect. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up if you're missing a day or you don't do things perfectly. It's okay. So I was kind of just looking through the lesson, but I'm going to wrap it up. I'm devoting today to it because I just didn't get to it the way I wanted to yesterday. And then I had a few things jotted down that I went over. So we're up over 20 minutes here. I'm going to wrap it up. And I'm going to be bringing more and more. I want to throw the videos like this in every so often into the mix of the Course in Miracles because it all ties together. And, just keep enhancing the channel, keep doing things to make the videos look a little better and whatever I can do, right? Like I'm just a one-man show here. So, anyway, as always, I'm always working to that unconditional loving place that I can now hopefully, right now and as I move forward, I can keep reaching and helping people up the ladder as well to the next level of their lives. And another thing I want to say before I go, and I just want to say, when you're doing this in your life, when you're leveling up your life, I talked about this before, where the love's spilling over out of the glass, and you love yourself so much and you love life so much that you can't help but spread it and give it to others. Everyone, thank you from everyone, right? Everyone in humanity, whether they know it or not, whether they're there or not yet, whether they're seeing it yet or not, thanks you. You'll be thanked, and you'll be given these gifts back, just like the lesson. I'm glad I thought of this. Just like the previous lesson said, you'll be given back what you give 1,000 and 100,000 magnified. When you give and you receive, it'll be magnified. That's how this thing works. So, unconditional love, heaven on earth. We are the miracle. Till next time.